Les grands investissements pour le transport en commun,
in public
les usines
transit,
de batteries
in
pour véhicules
EV battery
électriques,
factories,
usines de batteries
in
pour véhicules
EV battery
électriques,
factories,
batteries
in
pour véhicules
EV battery
électriques.
factories.
Right.
Yeah, I'm very pissed off that we're going to be giving billions and billions of dollars to people that really don't need it to build battery factories in Canada at a time when we're not even certain if we're going to need those batteries. If we go hydrogen, no, we won't. So yes, I'm very pissed off, and I'm going to keep reminding people about that because good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen across our beautiful country of Canada, our friends around the world in the known and unknown universe. Welcome back to your favorite Angry Canadian on the 9th day of December 2023. Christmas is getting closer.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
And that, of course, is Bruce Willis from the iconic Christmas movie Die Hard. Yippee-ki-yay. You know, that's kind of like the other line that I've used more than once. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Terminator, I'll be back.
You know, obviously there are some people who are hesitant to take the vaccine for various reasons, and some who may face some barriers. Has the province been able to, identify who those people might be, or the barriers or hesitancies, and how you might reach those people so they might get a vaccine?
Yeah, so this is something that we've spent quite a bit of time on for years and years, and we're using some of that data from the Vaccine Evaluation Centre. We've had a team at the immunization program and our BC Immunization Committee here in BC that have been looking at these types of questions for a long time.
You will always have conspiracy theories when you have very challenging public health crises. They are nothing but distractions.
President retweeting a conspiracy video alleging that masks do not work. The video was then removed by Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube because it violated rules against spreading misinformation.
The second most powerful man in the world, revealing himself in this video as a mask truther.
A major study finding masks made no difference in stopping the spread.
Mask mandates, it turns out, were an utter failure. It's not me saying it, but the New York Times. The mask mandates did nothing. Will any lessons be learned? Brett Stevens cites a comprehensive British review of 78 randomized studies with more than 600,000 participants.
So that wasn't scientifically sound.
Effective.
The mask guidance was not
correct. It wasn't science-based, and the 6 feet of distancing was arbitrary.
All around the country, over the weekend, protests popped up. These morons and internet conspiracy theories, demanding an immediate end to lockdowns. And let's be honest, people, this is both insane and counterproductive. Because the more you gather in groups, the longer the lockdown will have to go on.
Did lockdowns during COVID prevent severe effects from COVID-19? Did it help in the arc of the pandemic? Economists from Johns Hopkins say no.
The report warned against using lockdowns as a pandemic measure in the future because of the low effectiveness on mortality and the consequences for the economy.
The lockdowns, in terms of their effects on mortality, we measured it against mortality, were basically irrelevant.
They destroyed people. They literally killed people. When you shut down medical care, in spring of 2020 alone, there were 650,000 cancer chemotherapy patients in this country alone. Half of them didn't get their chemo because they were afraid. They were told it was dangerous to go to a medical facility.
You weighed in on a theory that's been floating around that perhaps the number of fatalities related to COVID-19 is being inflated because people are actually dying of other things. What's your read on that theory?
You know, Savannah, there is absolutely no evidence that that's the case at all. You know, I think it falls under the category of something that's very unfortunate, these conspiracy theories that we hear about.
Even the wackos, Trump wackos, are doing conspiracy theories saying those numbers are padded.
What should we say to people who conspiracy theorize about an overcount of the deaths?
Follow-up now to my conversation with LA County Health Director Barbara Ferrer, who last week acknowledged the county may be overcounting COVID deaths by as much as 20%.
Could it be a secondary contributing cause? So, for example, somebody with kidney disease, COVID then pushes them over the edge to have kidney failure. That's COVID as a contributing cause. And then the third is COVID as an incidental finding. So somebody coming in with a gunshot wound or a heart attack and they happen to test positive. Now, part of the conspiracy theory is that the disease started in a laboratory in Wuhan.
Just weeks ago, Dr. Anthony Fauci rejected the conspiracy that coronavirus was man-made in a lab in Wuhan, China. And yet this week, Donald Trump is still pushing the debunked bunkum.
A lot of people on the right love that phrase, escape from the lab, because it sounds like something from a Marvel movie or a comic book.
Everyone who believes in the conspiracy is saying that it came out of a lab in Wuhan rather than through food at a market.
And he continued to push a conspiracy theory that has already been debunked by our intelligence community. This whole notion that the coronavirus was developed in a Chinese lab. That has been debunked.
There's a report today that another intelligence arm of the U.S. government, this is inside our energy department, has joined the FBI in concluding that COVID began with a lab leak in China.
Is that I don't know who to trust.
Yeah.
Right? I certainly don't trust reporters because reporters treated this initially as if it was nothing more than a crazy, unhinged conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
So who do you trust, right? You can't trust the legacy media outlets because that was their narrative.
It came out of the city that has the Wuhan Institute of Virology, a Chinese lab that worked on coronaviruses. And that is an awfully large coincidence. And that's what I've thought throughout, that was an awfully large coincidence.
Now, that lying piece of crap is from the Young Turks. You know, at one time they used to report, but now they become a propaganda outlet for the democratic woke left. And media should be allowed to report honestly and fairly. And once they start lying, and I don't even know when, lying became so popular. I guess, people have always lied, but when it came into the press, remember Bill Clinton standing, looking right into the camera and shaking his finger? I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Couldn't even say her name. But that was lying. And now we've gotten to the point where you can just lie out in the open about anything and there's no consequences. That's one of the reasons, consequences, is why I keep talking about the electric vehicles and batteries and stuff.
Mazda just brought back a legendary engine with a revolutionary twist that could literally spell doom for EVs.
The CEO of BMW, known for its sleek and powerful machines, has taken a bold stance and delivered a striking blow to the electric car industry. As the wheels of change keep turning, discover why BMW's leader is making headlines and leaving electric car enthusiasts in shock.
Toyota's CEO has delivered a shocking revelation to all electric vehicle EV manufacturers, leaving EV enthusiasts both infuriated and bewildered.
Like how many
he is steering away from EV production, urging the middle class to cease buying EVs altogether.
Or how much military. Oh, that's another big ripoff. So, in my opinion, man, by the time they get to the electric vehicles, 2035, and that's all you'll be able to buy because capitalism and democracy and freedom no longer friggin' work. By that time, they'll have different technology. When they talk about hybrid now, they're not talking about plug-in electric hybrid. What they're talking about is working on, because the only byproduct will be water. Your car as it goes down the road will be pissing all over the place, but that's the only byproduct. I don't know what's going to happen. I know the government sure as the hell doesn't know. So why put all the eggs in one basket? You got to be moving cautious because it's not their friggin' money. I just about said the F-bomb. It's not their friggin' money. It's the taxpayers' money. I mean, shit, man, if they started being responsible, for all the waste that is going out, for all the subsidies that they pay, for all the military expenses, and all the cost overruns, you know how easy and well we could be living? Pretty well we'd be, on par with the Saudis, where everything is paid for by the state. So, yeah, I get pissed off.
Over the past 9 months, the United States and the European Union.
Doing a bit of boozing, have you? Sucking back on Grandpa's old cough medicine?
What? Now? Okay, now. Hello, fellow Americans. What? Oh, okay, sorry. Hello, fellow... What? Here? I don't see the words. Where are the damn words? Oh, they're there. Okay, here, I got it. Hello, fellow Americans. It's me, Joe Biden, your president of the United States of America. As you know, it's an important time for our county. What? Our country. Erection Day. We get... what? Election Day. Sorry, completely different, not as fun. Election Day. So don't forget to get out and exercise your rights as Armenians. Americans, what the hell? Who wrote this? Get Obama to do this too. I was tricked into being president. I have no idea what I'm doing. Anyway, get out and do the thing with the thing. You know the thing, how it goes. Elect with the election thing. What? Oh yeah, vote. Get out and vote. Vote for elections. And stuff those ballot boxes. Vote as many times as you can. And vote whether you're here legally or not. I have a new saying that I love. Cross the river, pull a lever. It's your illegal American duty. So remember, without your vote, no one wins. Okay, that's not true because we hired folks to stuff the ballot boxes. What? Oh, yeah, that was a joke. I was kidding. We didn't hire anyone to do any ballot box stuffing. I was kidding. They do it for free, right? Well, okay, just remember, your vote will make America great again. Hey, I like that saying. Can we use that? No? It's racist. Why is that racist? They're telling me it's racist. Vote for Brandon. And remember, each time you vote, you get a sticker. Look how many I got. Here, show them what I got here. Look at that right there. But wait, there's more. If you keep voting and collect 20 of these stickers plus 2 box tops, you get to be an American citizen. That's right. Voting is as American as getting everything made in China. And remember, if you don't vote, then you can't complain it was rigged. Get in that voting booth, pull that thing in there. You know the thing, you pull. Just get in the booth and pull hard on that thing. And if your husband or wife is going to vote the exact opposite way you do, vote anyway, because I guarantee we will make their vote just disappear. Yes, I said that. We will make millions of votes just disappear. Speaking of disappearing, has anyone seen President Harris? Does she still work here? Anyway, hey, is now when I talk about reverse mortgages? Is it? I love that Tom Selleck guy. Anyway, finally, get to those folks. Talking to my folks in my home state of Chicago. Get out and vote, but not after dark. Thank you and good luck, America. And in conclusion, I can sum this video up in 2 simple words. Get out and vote. There. Okay, am I done? Good. Help me down from this thing, will you? I think they would. Whoa. Okay, there we go. Thanks. Well, that was certainly a load of crap. We're screwed, you know.
Thank you, Jeff Dunham, and your buddy Walter, who played Joe Biden in that clip. Awesome. We gotta have more fun, man, because all the shit that's going on and being broadcast is frying people's minds. No wonder we got a zombie generation. So let's have a little more fun. One of my all-time favorite comedians, George Carlin.
Now, there's one thing you might have noticed I don't complain about. Politicians. Everybody complains about politicians. Everybody says they suck.
Yeah!
Well, where do people think these politicians come from? They don't fall out of the sky. They don't pass through a membrane from another reality. They come from American parents and American families, American homes, American schools, American churches, American businesses, and American universities, and they're elected by American citizens. This is the best we can do, folks. This is what we have to offer. It's what our system produces. Garbage in, garbage out. If you have selfish, ignorant citizens, you're going to get selfish, ignorant leaders. And term limits ain't going to do you any good. You're just going to wind up with a brand new bunch of selfish, ignorant Americans. So maybe it's not the politicians who suck. Maybe something else sucks around here. Like the public. Yeah, the public sucks. There's a nice campaign slogan for somebody. The public sucks. Fuck hope. Fuck hope. Because if it's really just the fault of these politicians, then where are all the other bright people of conscience? Where are all the bright, honest, intelligent Americans ready to step in and save the nation and lead the way? We don't have people like that in this country. Everybody's at the mall, scratching his ass, picking his nose, taking his credit card out of his fanny pack and buying a pair of sneakers with lights in them. So I have solved this little political dilemma for myself in a very simple way. On election day, I stay home. I don't vote. Fuck them. Fuck them. I don't vote. Two reasons I don't vote. First of all, it's meaningless. This country was bought and sold and paid for a long time ago. The shit they shuffle around every 4 years doesn't mean a fucking thing. And secondly, I don't vote because I believe if you vote, you have no right to complain. People like to twist that around, I know. They say, well, if you don't vote, you have no right to complain. But where's the logic in that? If you vote and you elect dishonest, incompetent people and they get into office and screw everything up, well, you are responsible for what they have done. You caused the problem. You voted them in. You have no right to complain. I, on the other hand, who did not vote, who in fact did not even leave the house on election day, am in no way responsible for what these people have done and have every right to complain as loud as I want about the mess you created that I had nothing to do with. So I know that a little later on this year you're going to have another one of those really swell presidential elections that you like so much. You'll enjoy yourselves. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm sure as soon as the election is over, your country will improve immediately. As for me, I'll be home on that day doing essentially the same thing as you. The only difference is, when I get finished masturbating, I'm going to have a little something to show for it, folks. Thank you very much.
Just as George says, it's the people that vote in these mother truckers. And then we're surprised by what happens. I've been saying revolving door for ages here in Canada. Liberal, conservative, liberal, conservative, liberal, conservative. There's no choice. That's not democracy. But I shouldn't be surprised with democracy going away. The other day, while looking up stuff about Nelson Mandela, I didn't realize he's been to Davos World Economic Forum 3 times.
Dear Mr. President Nelson Mandela, dear Madiba, dear friend, on behalf of all the members of the World Economic Forum, I would like to extend to you our warmest welcome for your 3rd visit to our annual meeting. We all very well know those milestones in your life. But as I read your book, A Long Walk to Freedom, I was struck by the countless and less known sacrifices you made early on in your life in order to deliver your people.
the World Economic Forum is a club for billionaires, the movers and the shakers who are going to shape your future.
The religious community has come together with political parties to give a lead with government in this moral regeneration that will help fight corruption and crime. Farmers, farm workers are working with the police and army to combat rural criminality. Last year, the World Economic Forum gave a global lead to the international business community in the fight against HIV/AIDS. I am pleased to be able to report to you that late last year, a national partnership against AIDS was launched in South Africa by Deputy President Thabo Mbeki, bringing together all sectors of our society, including the private sector, to combat this epidemic. Such partnerships of social forces give our society a resilience and stability that keep it on a steady course, whatever the vagaries of political mood. This environment allows government to take a longer view and consistently apply sound and sustainable economic policies. In the stormy seas of the world financial markets, our medium-sized ship has taken some storm damage, but it continues to sail under its own power. However, like all trading nations of our own growth depends critically on growth in the world economy. When we can least afford it, the current crisis has had a very real impact on our growth rate, as it has done across the world. Though still positive, our growth rate is nearly 3% below our initial projections for this year. Stability in the world economy, and more important, a return to growth in South Asia, Latin America, and Africa are vital. Our own long-term structural development also depends on all of Southern Africa and Africa achieving the same, and on our building economic ties and development cooperation among ourselves. We are making sure but steady progress in overcoming the colonial legacy. Globalization was no longer seen as a complex historical process, but as an economic policy panacea. Today, however, we have seen how global financial turmoil can stall industrialization and even deindustrialize in some cases.
We have seen what kind of future the globalist ruling class has to offer. But we have a different future in mind. The globalists can all go to hell. I have come to Texas.